Truck art. All over Pakistan, but particularly in Quetta, Dera Ghazi Khan, Peshawar Mansehra, Rawalpindi, and Karachi, you will see them, men and boys working in the booming truck painting industry. To a background noise of traffic and blaring these highly skilled truck artists continue the tradition of decorating enormous trucks with a dazzling kaleidoscope of folk art. No wonder that these masterpieces on wheels have become a tourism symbol for Pakistan, now recognized all over the world. Today's truckers are the successors of many generations of traders who transported goods by camel caravan along roughly similar routes from the coast of Pakistan inland to Central Asia. The tradition of dressing up the camels for the caravan an ancient one, and just as the camel decorations identified the traders' various ethnic groups, so today's truck art tells you where the truck has come from and its driver's ethnic group. No one can mistake a Peshawar truck, for example, with its paintings of cricket legend Shahid Afridi, Babi Khyber, mountains and streams along with lines of poetry in the Pashto language. Seaside panels painted with vibrant F-16 jets, Shaheen missiles and cut-out peacocks, and on the back a larger-than-life portrait of Field Marshal General Ayub Khan and film star Shan, and you know the truck is from Rawalpindi, much closer to the capital. Truck art is big business in Pakistan. Karachi, the port city of more than 14 million people, is said to employ over 50,000 people in small family-run paint workshops. Like a medieval guild, a typical Pakistani workshop employs a set of skilled craftsmen for this highly specialized work. An electrician installs wiring, a metal worker fashions artifacts such as the dangling leaf chains, a carpenter carves arabesque inlays on cab doors, an upholsterer embroiders window flaps with silver and gold thread. The master painter creates images with delicate layers and glazes, whilst his assistant helps him with backgrounds and borders. There is even a poet on hand to write an eye-catching poetic inscription. This labor-intensive operation usually takes 6 to 10 weeks. During this period, many drivers hover around the workshops like part of the extended family, suggesting possible subjects and alterations, earning nothing during the time their truck is being spiffed up unbelievably. The majority of truckers lavishly spend money on a full makeover of their vehicles every 3 or 4 years. None of these skills come cheap, but for those who make their living from truck driving, painting the vehicle is an essential. It may be as a way of expressing thanks for prosperity, to attract customers, or to keep up with all the other decorated trucks. Whatever the reasons for having the painstaking work done, it is expensive. Truck owners frequently have 2 years' profits on a basic houses, and they will often spend the equivalent of lavished or profits on a basic painting and body job. Recently, a trucking magnate lavished over $300,000 on a decoration job which took more than 4 months to execute. More modestly, Muhammad Ahmed from Murray up to 50,000 rupees a month, but his truck is being repainted at a cost of 1,000,000 rupees. 2 years ago he and his brother paid 600,000 rupees for stem-to-stern bodywork. The money came partly from savings, he said. In addition, Family members gave some money and the rest was a loan. It's all part of business. Drivers are convinced that the money is well spent. If a driver can't afford to decorate his truck, customers reckon he's no good, said Javed Baser, who transports propane cylinders. It's practical, too. The Taj helps to protect our loads from the eyes of the police. The police are less likely to stop a well-painted truck, he added. With their hunting scenes and floral designs, the decorations can be seen as a continuation of the court decoration of the Mughal emperors, with the mirrors and embroidery recalling, for example, the Sheesh Mahal in the fort in Lahore. They also embrace East and West, the secular and sacred, the ancient and modern. So film stars, cricket legends, and Pakistani military heroes are alongside scenes from ancient Greek mythology, leopards leaping on gazelles, mountain landscapes, and classical calligraphy. Some owners deck their trucks like brides, the bonnet painted with henna patterns, brilliant parandas tied to the side mirrors and bell chains tied to the mudguards to symbolize the tinkling of a bride's piles. A fringe of beautifully wrought steel people leaves dangles from the chassis of one truck, and huge glaring eyes, as well as black ribbons on the side view mirrors, protect its driver from the evil eye. On another, the intricately patterned Taj carved in cedar wood is adorned with a dazzling reflecting image of the Faisal Mosque. Americans got a tiny taste of Pakistani truck painting in the summer of 2002 at the Smithsonian Folklife Festival, when a truck painter and a bodywork expert brought a truck from Karachi to Washington, D.C. They decorated it right there on the National Mall as outdoor artists in residence. As a talent scout for the festival's Silk Road theme, truck fancier Jonathan Mark, an anthropology professor at the University of Michigan and a top U.S. scholar of Pakistani culture, chose the pair for their versatility in incorporating the country's different styles of truck art. Their finished masterpiece, a Bedford, is now part of the Smithsonian's permanent collection. Although Karachi is the country's principal center for truck decoration, other regions have evolved their own signature idioms. In Peshawar, trucks display far more calligraphy than illustration. In Rawalpindi and Islamabad, designers cut out colored plastic sheets and layer them to create unusual patterns and geometric effects over the truck exterior. Artisans in Baluchistan and Peshawar are esteemed for their magnificently detailed woodwork carved on cabin doors and interiors. Camelbone inlay is emblem of Sindh province, while stainless steel peacock appliques are popular both in Sindh and the Punjab. Truck art has developed over the decades. It was in the 1940s that trucks first began to deliver long-haul goods, and each company developed its own painted logo so that the mainly illiterate people could recognize them. After partition in 1947, the trucks displayed solidarity with their young nation with, for example, the sign of one company featuring the geographical outlines of the new country. These logos became more and more flamboyant as trade became increasingly competitive. Truck decoration initially used the thousands of years old motifs from the camel caravans and ox carts, but in the 1950s Haji Hussein effected enormous change. He had previously painted murals and frescoes in palaces in Gujarat, but when he settled in Karachi, he turned his skills to painting horse carriages and trucks with floral borders. In the 1960s, Pakistan's economic boom included a great expansion of the transport industry. The British-built Bedford truck with its 7-foot paneled sides became the truck of choice because of its indestructibility, which enabled it to haul loads of up to 20 tons for 25 years and more. When Vauxhall stopped production of the Bedford trucks in the early 90s, Japanese imports like Hino and Nissan supplanted them, but despite their superiority, drivers or imports like Hino and Nissan supply the owner's wealth increased during the 60s and 70s, and they jostled for business. Truck decoration became more and more elaborate. Now in the 21st century, truck art has reached some kind of apogee, an explosion of brilliant color, and executed with great skill and inventiveness. All arts, including paintings, is an embodiment of an everlasting beauty. It gives a joy that is permanent and unfading and has an eternal impact on the human mind. Likewise, the art on the truck panels is static and unchanging and represents the world of art. When we look at such arts on our streets and roads, we pass from the world of transience to that of permanence for a while. Let us hope these traditions will be handed down to subsequent generations of artists. About the author. Rachel Redford has extensive experience in English language and literature teaching and assessments. She is the author of the secondary textbook series Oxford English, an international approach from the Oxford University Press UK. She has also written 2 student books and a teacher's guide for Oxford University Press to accompany the General Certificate of Secondary Education (GCSE) syllabus in the UK. Her other publications include Texts from Other Cultures, a collection of extracts from writings across the world. Rachel Redford also reviews audiobooks for British journals. She lives in Carisbrooke on the Isle of Wight in England.